Next up, at UFC 314, we have the featured fight of the evening. We have Dan 50K Ige taking on Sean Woodson. Dan Ige, 18-9 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5. He is riding back-to-back losses. He is taking on Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson is 13-1 in his career, 4-0-1 in his last 5. He's coming off that Fernanda Padilla KO. Dan Ige, we all know by now. He's a Hawaiian tough. Good kickboxer, good speed, good power, good BJJ, underrated wrestling. Takedown defense looks low on paper at 57%, but he only fights top-tier guys, and he's been fighting for his life for a while now. He's a pretty durable guy. He's a tough night out for basically anybody. Getting him out of there is almost impossible, so you need to be ready for a full 15-minute war. He is coming off that decision loss to Lerone Murphy, where he almost had Lerone knocked out early, but he just wasn't able to keep that going. He's taking on Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson is built like E.T. He has ridiculously long legs and ridiculously long arms, and he uses that reach to keep you at bay. And that build, those long arms and that short torso, is what has given him so much success.
I'd push back on the ET build.
It's a compliment.
Because I know what he actually looks like. Yeah, this is that I mean, that is not. Sorry.
All right,
but I'll tell you what he looks like.
What?
And it's a movie that I think me and you both love.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know what you're going to do.
What is it?
Mac and Me?
Yeah. Hold on. One of the greatest movies of all time. You've seen Mac and Me. Let me know. Because I'm trying to get a good picture of. Is that it? Let me see. Damn, why don't they have any good pictures?
Because the kid's in a wheelchair. The wheelchair's blocking all the good stuff. God, that's a weird looking. That's crazy.
Like, I'm not saying he looks like that. The body is built like that. Like long.
No, Sean Woodson's
lanky.
Sean Woodson's a good-looking dude, and he's got Riz lips and everything. He's a good-looking dude. He's squinting. He's just got that crazy build where his arms are ridiculously long. His legs
are ridiculous. This movie is so ridiculous, dude. Look at this shit. If you've never seen Mac and Me, it is fucking, look at this fucking, this is a dead serious, it's one of the worst rated movies of all time. They're like in fucking court.
Not worse than Snow White.
Everyone just fucking hanging out with these fucking aliens in court. It's fucking so stupid. I love that movie. Apparently, the reason, and Angela actually got me a Mac and Me poster. Yeah. For my birthday, I think at one point, or whatever, Mac and Me. But I guess it's like one of the worst. It was basically a direct ripoff of E.T., but the whole movie is like based around like a McDonald's and a Coca-Cola sponsorship. Like, it's a very weird movie. One of the worst movies of all time. But apparently, for whatever reason, as a kid, it was the only movie I would watch. So if my parents wanted me to settle fucking down, they put on Mac and Me, and I'd sit there and watch fucking Mac and Me because I just fucking loved it, I guess. And it's fantastic.
I still haven't seen it. Maybe I'll watch it with the girls one night. Maybe we'll do a movie night. That would be that ridiculous movie. But anyway, we got Sean Woodson. The insanely long arms and the insanely long legs have afforded him quite a bit of success. He was a former professional boxer, and he's one of the very few people in the UFC that uses range well. Lots of guys have a ton of range, and a lot of people will focus on, he's got a 2-inch reach advantage. First of all, when you measure reach, it's tip to tip on both arms. So a 2-inch reach advantage is one on each side. That's nothing. Sean Woodson always has a reach advantage, but he knows how to use it. He uses the range well. He uses that professional boxing experience. He also has spectacular takedown defense because his legs are so freaking long. He basically does a split, and you can't wrap all the way around. If you have a single, you can't pick him up. He's too tall, and you can't do a double because you can't get your arms around. Just go watch that Dennis Bazooka fight. So Sean Woodson's a tough night out for anybody. Good technical striking, uses his length insanely well, and he's coming off that knockout win over Fernanda Padilla. On the surface, this should be a very easy Sean pick, right? He's insanely long. He's insanely tall. A much better striker. Great takedown defense. If you look a little deeper, then it's like, all right, Dan Ige's a dog. He's got a ton of dog in him. The public loves him on this fight. But you guys also loved Drew Dober 2 weeks ago, so how'd that work out? But I just think Dan Ige is going to do what he does. He's going to stay tough. He'll make it dirty. He'll make this competitive. But I think Sean will squeak out a win. I hate these odds. I think this should be closer out of respect for Dan and his abilities, but I don't think Dan's going to be able to get it to the ground. I think he'll struggle with rage. Sean Woodson's going to be the pick.
Say Strungle?
I did say Strungle.
I think you can struggle.
It's the dog. It is.
My turn to do the breakdown, or
it is.
I think there was a super chat that said "Thank you, Jan," which I thought was pretty funny for whatever reason. Listen, I know Sean Woodson is who he is, and if this fight is fought at space, he's going to beat most people in this division. He's just so long and such a crisp boxer that when he is matched up against people that try to like match his length, like Padilla stayed at range and try to like outbox Sean Woodson, it's not going to fucking work. The good news is for Dan Ige is he knows he can't stay at range. It's physically impossible for him to box with Sean Woodson at the range that Sean Woodson wants to box in. So, Dan Ige, more than ever, has to do what he does best, and that is pressure forward, get in the pocket, because Sean Woodson will back up. Totally back against the fence, use his height, shell up, wait for you to strike, and either try to counter off that or just circle away. And the people that have given him issues are people that get inside of his boxing, push him up against the fence, not let him throw that power at range. He still can dirty box, and he'll throw that volume, and it'll be a close fight. But it just feels like Dan Ige, with that pressure, is going to wear down Sean Woodson to where he can't quite keep up with the volume. And I'm not saying Dan Ige can knock him out. He has been chinned a little bit in the past, but when you're shelling up against the fence against a guy for 15 minutes, which it could be easily a decision fight, I just see Dan Ige winning that decision. So I like Dan Ige because he literally can't fight the fight that Sean Woodson wants you to fight at. He just can't do it. He's got to get inside. If he gets inside with the pressure and he keeps it for 15 minutes, which we've seen him do, I think Sean's going to slow down, and this could be a 29-28 or a split decision win for Dan, but I think he pulls it out.
He's a dog, and anytime you break down Dan Ige, you just have to factor in that he's a dog. He's also only 33. It feels like he should be much older, but he's just not. He's just been around forever and grinding through, fighting at a high level for a long time.
And Sean Woodson doesn't really punish people moving backwards. He lets you push him backwards against the fence. He'll shell up, throw a little bit of a counter, but he wants to circle up, get back in space, and be pushing forward when he's striking. He works best when he is moving forward. He can pump like a boxer, right? He wants to be pumping that jab out, moving forward, and then he'll throw his combinations in space. If you move him backwards, I think he's a different guy.
Yeah, it'll be listen, I hate these odds, and I'm almost glad that these odds are this, because if he was minus 110 or it was a little bit better, maybe I would consider it, right? But at these odds, it's like, I'm going to leave that alone. This is sketchy.
Sean Woodson was a former heavyweight boxer too, which is wild.
He's not small, and even though he's like very, very lanky, he's clearly strong. You can see him power his way out of takedowns and things like that. Sean Woodson's good, and that's why he keeps winning. And obviously, he doesn't look spectacular every fight. That fight with Charles Jourdain was closer than it should have been, but he squeaked it out. He made it happen, and Sean Woodson just continues to win. This is quite the streak he's got going here. This should be a fun, entertaining fight. This is a good featured fight of the night because Dan Ige's going to come forward, try to make something happen. Sean Woodson, we just saw some power out of him, which we hadn't really seen quite that often. $8,500 in DraftKings Fantasy for Sean Woodson. That is tricky because that's not a huge number, but Dan Ige is not a guy you can really finish. So that is a tricky price point right there. It's not crazy that if Sean shoots a takedown. We've seen him do that as well. So I don't know what to do with that fight for DraftKings Fantasy, but let the optimizer decide for you. Let the fight simulator decide for you. Both of those tools and a bunch of other things are available right now on the website. Just go to WeWantPicks.com. Dan Fox, WWP, Jakey Boy, and I still going heavy on Lady Boys. You and Dan getting after it with some Lady Boys?
Is there something wrong with that, Angelo?
I'm asking a question. Are you and Dan getting after it with some Lady Boys?
I don't kiss and tell, right? You pocket watching or something?
Thank you, Dan. Oh, dude, one time we were in the pool, and I said something. I was... You said pocket watching, which is what we were in a pool at somebody's house, and I said something like, dude, I think I've had like 6. And he's like, you're a beer counter? So that's it. That's done. We're done. You can stop. Story time's over. Now it's pitch time.